It started like any other Sunday in Pine View Estates, a pristine suburb where quiet was a premium and order was king. Lawns were clipped to perfection, mailboxes stood in neat rows, and the air carried the scent of fresh grass and overwatered roses. A sprinkler ticked rhythmically somewhere. A dog gave a lazy bark at a passing bird. Faint giggles drifted from a backyard splash pad. Everything seemed still too still, the kind of calm that hints at something brewing underneath. Then came the scream. Sharp, raw, human. It didn't fit in a place like this. Heads turned. Chatter stopped. Lawn mowers fell silent. From the top of the neighborhood's gentle slope, Arthur Hayes, a 90-year-old Korean War veteran who'd served VY combat and 2 heart attacks, was hurtling downhill in his wheelchair fast, wild, out of control. His body was rigid with fear, hands clamped tight on the armrests, knuckles pale as bone. The chair jolted over pavement cracks and driveway edges, wheels clattering. His head jerked with every bump. His breaths came in short, ragged bursts. He wasn't steering. He couldn't. No handles, no brakes, no help, just Arthur, frail and trapped, a passenger to jar AVY tie. Halfway down, a neighbor shouted his name. Another bolted toward him, but it was too late. The chair slammed into the curb at the bottom with a sickening crunch that bounced off the tidy garages. The front wheels buckled, the chair tipped, and Arthur was thrown forward, hitting the ground face first. The sound that followed wasn't a cry, it was silence. Heavy, wrong silence. People rushed to him. Someone dialed 911. Another gagged into a bush. A kid stood frozen, phone shaking in hand, filming the wreckage with wide eyes. And 30 feet away, on the edge of a flawless lawn, stood Leonard Price, president of the Pine View Estates HOA. Arms crossed, face blank, he watched, not startled, not rushing, just standing there, calm as if sizing up a storm's aftermath. No hint of guilt. No move to help. It was clear to everyone in that awful moment. This wasn't a fluke. Leonard didn't budge as neighbors swarmed the broken figure below, phones out, voices trembling. His jaw stayed tight, arms locked over his crisp collared shirt, like a man unimpressed by chaos. He glanced sideways at Mary Carter, who'd dropped her pruning shears in shock, her face drained of color. That ramp was against code, he muttered, voice flat. I told them. Maybe now they'll listen. It wasn't rage or worry, just irritation, like Arthur Hayes, a 90-year-old disabled man, had inconvenienced his day. Mary wanted to yell, to tell him to shut up, but the words stuck in her throat, too stunned by the coldness. Leonard turned back to the scene, unfazed, as if watching litter tumble downhill, not a person. 5 days earlier, Arthur's son, Michael Hayes, a 36-year-old math teacher with a steady hand and a thermos of black coffee, had built a temporary ramp for his dad. He'd used scrap wood from a classroom project, nothing fancy, unpainted, but solid. Arthur's scooter was broken, and carrying him down the steps had nearly ended in disaster. So Michael acted, driven by need, not skill. For Arthur, it wasn't just a ramp, it was freedom, a scrap of pride. But Leonard Price didn't care about pride. The next day, Michael got an email, immediate notice of violation, unapproved structural modification. 3 warnings followed, first polite, then smug, then menacing. Remove the unauthorized ramp or face enforcement under Article 7, Section 3 of the Pine View Uniform Standards. Michael wrote back, explaining, begging. Silence. Then, that Sunday, Leonard took matters into his own hands. It wasn't an accident. Doorbell footage and witnesses later confirmed it. Leonard approached Arthur that morning, pretending to help him outside, while Michael folded laundry indoors. In under 2 minutes, Leonard wheeled Arthur to the hill's edge, just past the walkway, where the slope would do the rest. Then he let go and walked off. Arthur's chair had no brakes. His hands flailed, weak and useless. Once the hill took him, there was no stopping it. This wasn't a warning or a rule enforced, it was ego in motion. Leonard believed in order, not humanity, and in his 6 years as HOA president, he'd ruled unchallenged. Late trash cans. Fined. Christmas lights up past January. Cited. Paint too bold. Threatened. To him, Arthur was a flaw in Pine View's polished image, an old man with a crude ramp and flaws got erased. But Leonard misjudged one thing. Arthur wasn't just a problem. He was a person, And people don't forget. Police and an ambulance arrived 7 minutes later. Paramedics swarmed Arthur, stabilizing him, checking VY vitals, barking quick orders into radios. Blood seeped from his forehead, pooling on the pavement. Neighbors hovered, some weeping, others numb, hugging themselves in disbelief. Leonard stood beyond the yellow tape, sleeves rolled up, sunglasses on, cool as ever. When an officer questioned him, he was smooth. I helped him off the ramp. It was unstable. I thought I'd get him to safer ground. He could have fallen. The officer paused. He did fall. Leonard didn't blink. Exactly why I'm worried. That's what we're trying to prevent, unsafe additions. I sent warnings. Nearby, Michael watched, drenched in sweat, hands trembling around his phone. He wanted to shout the truth. He didn't fall from the ramp. It wasn't even close, but his voice wouldn't come. Not yet. That day, the HOA issued a statement on crisp letterhead, slipped into every mailbox. We regret Mr. Arthur Hayes' medical incident. President Leonard Price acted within safety protocols. Mr. Michael Hayes has shown hostility and ignored repeated notices. The unapproved ramp posed risks, requiring immediate action. No mention of the hill, the push, the witnesses, just polished lies. Then Michael got a citation: disruptive conduct, hostility toward HOA members, failure to uphold standards. The story flipped Leonard the hero, Arthur the victim of his own frailty, Michael the troublemaker. The HOA didn't ask questions, didn't check footage, didn't care. Control, not truth, was the goal. And Leonard, who'd watched a man crash into concrete, stayed firmly in charge, shielded by the system. Arthur survived barely. A concussion, cracked ribs, bruises painting his face and chest. His left shoulder, shattered from the fall, hung in a sling, swollen and purple. But the real wound was deeper, unseen. In the hospital, he stared at the ceiling, eyes empty under buzzing lights. Machines hummed. A nurse adjusted his blanket. He didn't move. Michael sat beside him, fighting to stay composed. But Arthur's look broke him, not pain, but shame, the kind that whispers, "You're a burden. This is your fault." Arthur didn't say it. He didn't need to. Michael couldn't rest. The crash replayed endlessly, his dad tumbling, Leonard's icy stare, the HOA's smug letter. Trust in neighbors, in fairness, crumbled. This wasn't a personal spat. It was a machine of cruelty, cloaked in rules and HOA minutes, and it had won. Or so it seemed. Then Michael decided to fight. Past midnight, in a silent kitchen, he typed. The laptop's glow lit his weary face as he hesitated, then hit post. He shared it all. Doorbell video of Leonard pushing Arthur. The crash, the screams. Hospital photos, Arthur's battered face, bandaged ribs, hollow gaze. HOA warnings, each more callous than the last. Caption: my 90-year-old disabled dad, a war vet, was pushed down a hill by our HOA president over a ramp. This is Pine VYEW Estates enforcement. He slept 3 fitful hours. By morning, 12,000 shares. By noon, 53,000. By night, 131,000. The internet roared. Veterans raged. He fought for us. And this is how they repay him? Advocates called it a dignity violation. Lawyers offered help. The justice for Arthur trended. It wasn't just outrage, it was recognition. Everyone knew an HOA horror story. Arthur became a rallying cry. Michael, the reluctant voice. News spread local, then national. CNN called. Michael gave them everything. Then came the twist. An anonymous email arrived. You'll want to hear this. An audio file, Leonard's voice, cold and certain. The vet and his son are causing trouble. Maybe a little ride will quiet them. No objections, just coffee sips and creaking chairs. Michael sent it to his lawyer, then the press. By morning, it was viral, the tape, trending globally. What was once an incident became undeniable, planned, heartless cruelty. The county prosecutor charged Leonard elder abuse, endangerment, conspiracy. He was arrested on his lawn, cameras rolling, neighbors peering out. The HOA cracked. 3 board members quit. One, Ellen Tate, confessed, I was silent. I was wrong. Garrett's a monster. The truth was out, and it stank. In court, the EVY Denke buried Leonard. Audio, VY Deo, Arthur's injuries, witness tears. Arthur testified, shaky but firm. I fought for freedom, not fear. Guilty on all counts 8 years, no parole for 4. The judge's words cut. You forgot community means caring. But the Real win was bigger. The Arthur Hayes Act passed, banning HOAs from blocking accessibility. It's a law born from one fall, now lifting many. Letters poured in gratitude, stories, relief. Arthur's hospital wall became a tribute. 6 months later, a new ramp stood at his door, built by volunteers, etched with, for Arthur Hayes, who rolled but never gave up. He used it daily, while VYing to kids who called him a hero. Justice didn't just come, it rolled back, steady and sure.